Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yāvān ahaṁ yathā-bhāvo yad-rūpa-guṇa-karmakaḥ tathaiva tattva-vijñānam astu te mad-anugrahāt. Yāvān, as I am in eternal form, ahaṁ, myself, yathā, as much as, bhāvah, transcendental existence, yad, those, rūpa, various forms and colors, guna, qualities, karmakaḥ, activities, tatha, so and so, eva, certainly, tattva-vijñānam, factual realization, astu, let it be, te, unto you, mad-anugrahāt, by causeless mercy. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. All of me, namely my actual eternal form and my transcendental existence, color, qualities and activities, let all be awakened within you by factual realization out of my causeless mercy. Translation with repetition. All of me, namely my actual eternal form and my transcendental existence, color, qualities and activities, let all be awakened within you by factual realization out of my causeless mercy. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. It's a little long purport, 2 pages. The secret of success in understanding the intricacies of knowledge of the absolute truth, the personality of Godhead, is the causeless mercy of the Lord. Even in the material world, the father of many sons discloses the secret of his position to the pet sons. The father discloses the confidence unto the son whom he thinks worthy. An important man in the social order can be known by his mercy only. Similarly, one must be very dear to the Lord in order to know the Lord. The Lord is unlimited. No one can know Him completely, but one's advancement in the transcendental loving service of the Lord can make one eligible to know the Lord. Here we can see that the Lord is sufficiently pleased with Brahmājī, and therefore He offers His causeless mercy to him, so that Brahmājī may have the factual realization of the Lord by His mercy only. In the Vedas also it is said that a person cannot know the absolute truth, personality of Godhead, simply by dint of mundane education or intellectual gymnastics. One can know the supreme truth if one has unflinching faith in the bona fide spiritual master as well as in the Lord. Such a faithful person, even though illiterate in the mundane sense, can know the Lord automatically by the mercy of the Lord. In the Bhagavad Gita also, it is said that the Lord reserves the right of not being exposed to everyone. And He keeps Himself concealed from the faithless by His Yogamaya potency. To the faithful, the Lord reveals Himself in His form, quality, and pastimes. The Lord is not formless, as wrongly conceived by the impersonalist, but His form is not like one that we have experienced. The Lord discloses His form even to the extent of measurement to His pure devotees, and that is the meaning of yāvān, as explained by Srila Jiva Goswami, the greatest scholar of Srimad Bhagavatam. The Lord discloses the transcendental nature of His existence. The mundane wranglers make mundane conceptions of the form of the Lord. It is said in the revealed scriptures that the Lord has no mundane form. Therefore, persons with a poor fund of knowledge conclude that He must be formless. They cannot distinguish between the mundane form and the spiritual form. According to them, without a mundane form, one must be formless. This conclusion is also mundane because formlessness is the opposite conception of form. Negation of the mundane conception does not establish a transcendental fact. In the Brahma Samhita, it is said that the Lord has a transcendental form and that He can utilize any one of His senses for any purpose. For example, He can eat with His eyes and He can see with His legs. In the mundane conception of form, one cannot eat with one's eyes or see with his legs. That is the difference between the mundane body and the spiritual body of Sat-Chit Ananda. A spiritual body is not formless. It is a different type of body of which we cannot conceive with our present mundane senses. Formless therefore means devoid of mundane form or possessing a spiritual body of which the non-devotee can have no conception by the speculative method. The Lord discloses to the devotee His unlimited varieties of transcendental bodies, all identical with one another with different kinds of bodily features. Some of the transcendental bodies of the Lord are blackish, and some of them are whitish, some of them are reddish, and some are yellowish, some of them are four-handed, some of them two-handed, some of them like the fish, and some are like the lion. All these different transcendental bodies of the Lord, without any differential category, are disclosed to the devotees of the Lord by the mercy of the Lord. And thus the impersonalist false arguments claiming the formlessness of the Supreme Truth do not appeal to a devotee of the Lord, even though such a devotee may not be very advanced in devotional service. The Lord has unlimited numbers of transcendental qualities, and one of them is His affection for His unalloyed devotee. In the history of the mundane world, we can appreciate His transcendental qualities. The Lord incarnates Himself for the protection of His devotees and for the annihilation of the faithless. His activities are in relationship with His devotees. Srimad Bhagavatam is full of such activities of the Lord in relationship with His devotees. And the non-devotees have no knowledge of such pastimes. The Lord lifted the Govardhan hill when He was only 7 years old and protected His pure devotees at Vrindavan from the wrath of Indra, who was overflooding the place with rain. Now this lifting of the Govardhana hill by a 7-year-old boy may be unbelievable for the faithless, but for the devotees, it is absolutely believable. The devotee believes in the almighty potency of the Lord, while the faithless say that the Lord is almighty, but do not believe it. Such men with a poor fund of knowledge do not know that the Lord is the Lord eternally, and that one cannot become the Lord by meditation for millions of years or by mental speculation for billions of years. The impersonal interpretation of the mundane wranglers is completely refuted in this verse, because it is clearly stated here that the Supreme Lord has His transcendence, has His qualities, form, pastimes and everything that a person has. All these descriptions of the transcendental nature of the personality of Godhead are factual realizations by the devotee of the Lord, and by the causeless mercy of the Lord, they are revealed to His pure devotee and to no one else. Thus ends the Bhakti-vedanta Purport. Om ajnana-timirandhasya jnananjana-shalakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is a beautiful verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Lord Himself speaking to Lord Brahma. Vishnu speaking to Lord Brahma. These are the verses prelude to the 4 Chatushloki Bhagavatam. In the previous verse, Shri Bhagavan Vacha Jnanam Paramaguhyam Me yad-vijñāna samanvitam Sarahasyam tadangam cha grahana gaditam maya. After saying that, Krishna is saying this in this verse: yāvān ahaṁ yathā-bhāvo yad-rūpa-guṇa-karmakaḥ tathaiva tattva-vijñānam astu mad-anugrahāt. Yāvān, as much as. That is the sense. All about me. Yāvān ahaṁ. That's why Prabhupada translates Yāvān, as I am in eternal form. About me. And in translation, Prabhupada says, all of me. Yāvān ahaṁ yathā-bhāvo yathā-bhāvah. Bhava has many meanings. One meaning is existence. And another meaning is feelings, emotions. But here, yathā-bhāvo, yathā-bhāvaha, Lord's existential reality or truth. Yathā-bhāvaha, yad-rūpa-guṇa-karmakaḥ. Form, qualities and activities. Tathaiva tattva-vijñānam astu te. When we were small children, I remember, when we used to play, sometimes we would play like God, astu. Such expression is there in Hindi. Astu. Meaning blessing. Let it be like a blessing. May it be happen. Oh, I want to become a rich man. Astu. I want to become a famous person. Astu. I want 100 marks in mathematics. Astu. Same word expression is there. Tathaiva astu. Tathaiva astu. Tathaiva tattva-vijñānam astu. It's a blessing Krishna is giving to Brahma. Tathaiva tattva-vijñānam astu. Te astu. To you. How? Mad-anugrahāt. By my causeless mercy. So what is the tattva-vijñānam that Lord is blessing Brahma with? Yāvān ahaṁ, all about me. Yathā-bhāvo, my existence. Yad-rūpa-guṇa-karmakaḥ, my form, my qualities, my activities. Tathaiva tattva-vijñānam astu. That's why Prabhupada translates in the translation, let all be awakened within you. It's a beautiful translation. Let all this be awakened, all of me, my existence, my form, my qualities, my activities, let all that be awakened in you. Let tattva-vijñānam tattvamastu. Tattva-vijñānam tathastu. Let the tattva-vijñāna be awakened in you. Mad-anugrahāt. You get the sense? So, bhavaha of the Lord, His existence, His guna, His rūpa-guṇa-karmakaḥ. So, Prabhupada has said many wonderful things in the Purport. The first is, very first sentence, the secret of success in understanding the intricacies of knowledge of the absolute truth, the personality of Godhead, is the causeless mercy of the Lord. We are trying to understand the absolute truth. We are trying to understand the intricacies of the absolute truth. It's not that absolute truth is nirvishesha, has no attributes, has no qualities, has no form, has no yad-rūpa-guṇa-karmakaḥ. And how does the Lord exist? Actually, we have to be curious about it. Just like we want to know how the government is going to operate, who will be the Prime Minister of our country, who will be the cabinet, who will all be in the cabinet, what decisions they will make, what policy they will make. Because it's going to affect us. In the same way, God is continuously influencing and affecting our lives. Suddenly somebody will get back pain. Suddenly somebody will get kidney problem. Someone else will get some other leg problem, heart problem. Why suddenly somebody got? Others are all happy. I know a family, devotee family, 2 children. One child suddenly, as a child, got cancer. And in few years, the child passed away. The other child didn't get, he is alright. I know another case long ago, 20, 30 years back. 2 brothers were coming to our temple in Bangalore. So one day I was going down, still temple was under construction. This other older brother, they were all in their 30s, 35, not very old, young men. He and his wife were walking slowly up the hill. So I asked him, why? He said, no, some pain I'm feeling. So I just parked the motorcycle at the entrance and I thought I'd just walk, not. I said, okay, and then I met him a few days. Then they discovered that because of his stomach pain, he was admitted to the hospital and they did some tests and scan or whatever. And they found that the stomach is full of some overgrowth. Later on they found it to be tumor. And then they found it to be carcinogenic. And then in 2 months he passed away. You see, he had, I think, 1 child, small child, a young wife. Suddenly something can happen like that. According to higher laws, and these higher laws are governed by God. So we must know about God, no? Just like my parking will get affected, my vehicle tax will get increased, my income tax, the government, I should know who is going to be in the government, what are they thinking. Even much bigger things God is controlling about ourselves, our life. Should we not know God? What is God's plan? What is God's nature? Why God has created all this? Why God created me? See, these are serious things. Generally, because of the rush of material achievements, material acquisition, I must get this, I must have a big job, big house, big car. Because of this rush of these things, these desires creates a certain agitation of our mind and intellect in a certain level that deep, sober things we miss out in life. That is why in Vedic culture Rajoguna, Tamoguna are not encouraged because Rajoguna increases our ambitions and Tamoguna makes us lazy about everything in life. Both are not desirable. So, when we hear from the Bhagavatam, from the Vedic literatures, Lord has a form. Lord has hands, legs, oh. Then they say there is an argument, anthropomorphic God. Because we are human beings, we have made an imagination of God who has form like us. We have 2 hands, 2 legs, God also. It is our imagination. They say like that. Actually, no. We should ask the first question, why do we have 2 hands, 2 legs? Why not 3 hands? 2 here and 1 behind. You could have picked up and done something there behind also. Why not? Why 2 eyes? Why there could have been 3 eyes, 1, 2, 3, or here, 2 more eyes, or 1 eye here, so that, for survival it's helpful. Darwin's theory, it will help. No danger comes from behind also. One evolution should have happened with 2 eyes behind, 2 eyes in the front. It's helpful for survival. Better fittest will survive. Why evolution didn't happen that way? You see? Why 2 ears? Why like this ear lobes? It's a very fundamental question. Why my form is like it is? Srila Prabhupada often quoted from Bible, man is made in the image of God. Our form is resembling God's form, not that God's form is resembling our form because of our imagination. See how these arguments created by people. The basis of our form is God's form. Yes, God has 2 hands, sometimes He has 4 hands. And why is the complexion of our body brown, black, white, reddish? Yes, different complexions of the Lord also possible. Why colors exist? Why only 7 basic colors? Why all this? Why does something exist at all? Instead of nothing existing. Why does something exist for us to discuss, for us to think about? You see? These are very fundamental questions. But a person who is very agitated with material goals, I want to do this, I want to achieve this, is very busy, his minds are fully functioning like that, then they cannot appreciate deeper things in life. It takes away sensitivity. There's one English poet who wrote a poem, when will I have the time, when will I have the leisure to look for the nuts the squirrels have hidden, or something like that. I don't know if you all read that in school, please. Read that poem. Because we are all in the rush of so many things. We don't notice small things. So, Lord exists, His existence. What is His existence? His form, qualities, activities. Krishna also says that. Janma karma chame divyam evam yo vetti tattvataha kyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti surjana. He's clearly saying, my birth, my activities are divya. They are not ordinary, mundane like ours. You see, we were all born as men or as women, as Indian, American, different things, by the force of our past activity called karma. We are born and kept in a certain situation because of our past activities. This phenomenon, we are born and placed in a certain state because of our past activities. This is the same as the condition of prisoners. Why some prisoners are in rigorous imprisonment? Some prisoners, normal imprisonment, different kinds of. In the prison there are different categories. Why? Because of their past activities they have done. Someone has done some very, very big crime, big punishment. Punishment is always proportionate to the offense. That's the basic principle. See? So that's why the court judge awards different kinds of punishments. For some, they'll say VIP jail because he is an important man. So different kinds. So our lives, we are born in a certain situation because of past activities. It is like a prisoner's life. This is the principle that works in the prison. That same principle is operating for us now. Just see, that means we are in the prison. Now Krishna's appearance, is it also because of some Krishna's past activity? No. Swechaya, by his own desire, he agrees to come here, there, wherever. He wishes he can come. He will take his form like that. So his birth and our birth are not the same. That's why as devotees, we don't make a big issue and celebrate our birthday. Because our birthday is like prisoners celebrating. Oh, 1 year back I came to the prison. I'm distributing sweets today. 2 years I'm in the prison. Exactly today I came to the prison, so I'm distributing sweets today. Is there any meaning to that? Why are you here? Get out of the prison. You made some big mistake, that's why you landed in the prison. That's why our birth, we don't make an issue of it. Of course, if some small children are there just for their excitement, we may give some prasadam cake and something like that. But for the Lord and pure devotees who come to the world, they come not because of some pressure of their karma. By the will of the Lord, they come for doing some special work. That is why their appearance day is to be celebrated. Appearance day of Srila Prabhupada, appearance day of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. We celebrate that because their appearance was not because of their past doing. Lord sent them. So it's very special. Pure devotee's appearance. There is one anecdote in the life of Srila Prabhupada. I don't know if you have all heard this. I heard this from the devotee to whom Prabhupada told. I had read this before, but then once I had gone to Mayapur for some reason. And then that devotee was there and he told me. So, this devotee had done something in Mayapur because there was a lot of Muslims were there in the local Mayapur. Because it's close to Bangladesh, the infiltration happens. There was an attack on Mayapur in 1974-75. I think that Prabhupada was American. And this devotee who was one of the leaders in Mayapur, he had bravely fought them. Of course, it led to some problem, police case and all that. Anyway, he had bravely faced that. So Prabhupada heard and he was very pleased with that. And after 2-3 months, the devotee went to America and went to Prabhupada and told him all the details what happened. Prabhupada didn't heard. Because Prabhupada he knows India, Bengal, Mayapur situation, he understands very well. And those days, you should know that there was no email, even telephone, Prabhupada would not encourage. Very rarely telephones, because it was very expensive those days. So when he came and narrated all the details, Prabhupada intently heard. And he heard this devotee what happened, that devotee what happened, who on. Prabhupada got a full picture of what had happened. So Prabhupada was very pleased with those devotees, and especially this leader who had bravely defended temples properly, temples activities from others. So a few days later, Prabhupada called him as if Prabhupada was blessing him with some additional information because he had taken a risk, personally risked his life to fight that. If some danger comes, we all run. He had stood there and faced it, risking his life. So Prabhupada was very appreciative. So then, after 2 days in the afternoon, Prabhupada woke up from his rest and he was talking. Called him and he said, the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, they were writing books. I am also writing books. They were establishing temples. I am also establishing temples. He said a few things like that, and then he said, Krishna told me should go to the material world. And I said, material world? No, horrible! I won't go. Krishna said, no, you must go. You must go and write my books. No, I can't. It's a horrible place. I will ensure you will have nice places to stay. So Krishna has given me so nice temples to stay and creating so much facilities for me to write books. He said this much, and after that changed the topic. You see? That is why Prabhupada's writings, they bring out the meaning of the Shastra clearly. The way Prabhupada has written, the way Prabhupada has written, it appeals, it satisfies a rational mind. You see, we all have these questions. Why God? How God? I remember asking my mother, you are saying you should keep, in the traditional family, they'll keep one pot of milk in front of the Lord in puja room, and then you should offer milk. And so my mother used to say, don't drink milk, it is not yet offered. Not any other thing, not too much. But at least this much was there. One milk pot is kept. Then at some time when I was in high school or so, you say, God, we have to offer, where has God taken anything? And then I said, let us measure initial weight, W1, and you offer. After offering, we'll take final weight, W2. Like we used to do the school experiments on W1, W2. Like that, conditioned by that. Where is W2 minus W1? 0. Why do you say God has taken, God has accepted? Something like that I had faintly remember asking. And my mother just brushed it aside. Didn't bother to answer. Because we are exposed to school, college, all this education, it makes us think like that. And Prabhupada has given an answer. Then after many years, I read edition of Prabhupada's books. Krishna can plant and consume it. Because his form is transcendental. Angani yasya sakalendriya vrittimanti. Yasya angani sakala indriya vrittimanti. It is not that our form, eyes perform one function, tongue performs another function. It is made in such a way. Whereas Krishna's form is Satchidananda, all senses can perform function of all others also. It's a limitation. Just like you see, you take rasgulla, you put it in your mouth. It's nice, you will say. And then it will go down the throat. After that, you don't feel the taste of rasgulla. What happened? It must be sweet here also, everywhere in the stomach. But we don't feel. We are made in such a way that those senses, what are they called? Taste buds. That's called olfactory smell. Whatever. Taste buds. That is only in our mouth. Only there you can taste. Why is it? Why taste buds are not? If the taste buds are there all along the gullet, as it is going down, nice. Gulab jamun, rasgulla, we can keep relishing it in the stomach also, still giving pleasure. But now rasgulla, you take a little too much, it's giving gone to the stomach. Some more discomfort I am having because I ate too many rasgullas. You see how it is made in such a way. Who made it like this? Taste buds only here, no more here. Who designed it like this? What is the basis for all this? Scientists were observing this. It is said, Darwin, during his time, They had already seen lot of, you cannot deny, design in nature. You cannot deny. You see a flower, how it blossoms up, and it has got so many 6 petals. And every flower has 6 petals of the same species. It's not that sometimes 6, sometimes 3, sometimes 1, sometimes 1.5. No. Normally, you look at this. It shows there is a design, there is a template, it is following. And you see the red color, the pink and the white and the, just like an artist. How did this come about? So Darwin says, I set out to explain design without a designer. They had that kind of an intent, very atheistic intent, demoniac intent. Design is obvious in this world. Can I explain the design without the need for a designer? You see? Some fruits are very tasty, right? Mango, bananas. And they say, why is it tasty? Because it has seeds in it. Human beings, animals can eat it. And then seed dispersal happens. There are also some fruits which are bitter. Why then some of them are bitter? Then they give another explanation. To protect the seeds, so that no other predator comes and eats up. So one place you say, let the predator come and eat and disperse the seed. In another explanation, see how they are manipulating. This is called speculation. They see it this way, they see it that way, for the same similar thing. Whereas we say this material world is created by the intelligence of the Lord. They don't want to accept there is an atheistic tendency. And so, very nicely, Prabhupada has said here, Krishna has a form, Krishna has a personality, Krishna has attributes, Krishna has activities. That's why you see one of the things that we learn in Srila Prabhupada's books, Vishate tadanantaram bhaktyāvān yāvān yaśāsmi tattva-tah tato tattva-to gnātvā vishate tadanantaram. You will enter into that vishate. Prabhupada explains in the Purport. Vishate means enter. Mayavadis say, enter into me. So merge into God. Our Vaishnava acharyas say, no, enter into me, enter into my board, and you become a participant of my Leela. You become my associate. You can participate in my activities. You can be part of my association. So God has a form. There is a spiritual world. There God has a form. Everybody else also has a form. All are spiritual form. There is a spiritual association. This is the information we get. See, in our country there are so many scholars, Vedic scholars, and they study Vedas culturally. Because of this their culture, we have Brahmins, we have this mad, we have this organization, we learn Sanskrit, we study. They culturally, religiously study. Whereas Prabhupada gives us a realism. Yes, all our forms here, all our activities are temporary and they are visible. Krishna is inviting us, come to my world. You can associate with me. There is transcendental activity, there. There is unlimited pleasure there. Come to my world. You see, you get a different understanding reading Srila Prabhupada's book. Prabhupada came to write poetic literatures in English language and present the spirit and meaning which otherwise many people have lost. So very special contributions of Srila Prabhupada. We should not forget this. Prabhupada writing these purports and giving us that sense. The sense that we have when we read Prabhupada's books about Krishna, about Vishnu. You take any other Sanskrit scholar, Vedic scholar, they have the same kind of a feeling. Unlikely. See, they don't get that feeling at all. I don't know if you heard one story I told when I was very early days in ISKCON. In Bangalore, we have our Krishna Balaram DP. They were installed in Udupi. So I used to go to Udupi and make arrangements for this installation. So then I used to meet a few scholars. There was a Gurukul there. And so I used to meet one young man. And he was in an advanced stage of Madhva philosophy studies. They have one literature called Nyaya. He was studying that. And I used to interact with him. I used to tell about ISKCON, I used to tell about Prabhupada. And then he would ask me, let us see this Bhagavatam verse, how Prabhupada has explained. And then I would go, I would search that verse, go take it to him, show him, and then he would say something. He would make some comment, something, all this kind. So I thought, like now when you are young, you just go on preaching to everybody. So I thought I was preaching to people also. Surrender to Krishna, all those kind of things. One day when I was telling him, Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. You know this idea that we are not the enjoyers. Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. We should not try to enjoy, we should try to serve him. When I was speaking, discussing this kind of an idea, he got a little angry. Why are you saying Krishna, Krishna, Krishna? Only he should enjoy. I'm shocked.
He should be happy with that.
Madhva is advanced Madhva philosophy study, and I am saying Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. We are not the enjoyer. He got shocked about that. You see, how even Bhaktas learn this very quickly in our organization. We should not be there. Whether we succeed not to be the enjoyer, that's a different thing. It's a struggle whole life, we have to struggle not to be an enjoyer. Our spirit for enjoyment is strong, that's okay. But at least Prabhupada has taught us, don't try to be an enjoyer. Krishna is the enjoyer. We should not engage in sense gratification. Senses are meant for Krishna's gratification. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam. How wonderful Srila Prabhupada has taught all these things. Big Sanskrit scholars don't know these things. So it's so special Srila Prabhupada's writing. You see how Prabhupada is saying here, the secret of success in understanding the intricacies of knowledge of the absolute truth is the causeless mercy of the Lord. Even in the material world, the father of many sons discloses the secret of his position to the pet sons. You see, father has so many sons, he has a big business. He'll be watching as the children are growing up, and his pet son, he will tell them, this is how I do business. I'm telling you, my dear son. He will tell secrets to his pet son only, not to everybody. In the same way, we have to become pet of Krishna. The word, Sanskrit word for pet is Presha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshanaya Bhutale. Krishna means pet, dear. one who is at the lotus feet of Vishnu, and one who is dear to Krishna. He has appeared in this material world, and I offer my obeisances to him. That's our pranam mantra, Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale, Preshta Shishya, Preshta Bhakta, Krishna Preshta, Guru Preshta. These expressions are there. Only this is the way to understand Krishna. Because jnanam paramaguhyam me jnanam paramaguhyam. Knowledge about me is confidential. Krishna has said. Now you see, one last point. Prabhupada has said, even if one is illiterate, if one is devoted, one can understand Krishna. Just like that in Sri Lanka, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu encountered, he was an illiterate person. People were making fun of him. Oh, he's trying to read Bhagavad Gita, look at it. He does not read. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw him, and he saw sometimes there were tears in his eyes. And so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked him, what are you doing? He said, my Guru ordered me, and so I am trying to follow my Guru's order. But I am not able to do. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was alright, Guru ordered you, you are trying, but sometimes I see tears in your eyes. Why is that? He said, yes, when I open the book pages of Bhagavad Gita, this vision comes to my mind. Krishna is the Supreme Lord. But he has become a charioteer for his devotee. And now he gives orders. Lord gives orders. That is Lord's position. But now he is taking orders from his devotee. How wonderful Krishna is. Just when I think about it, I can't bear. Tears come in my eyes. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced him. Says, you have understood the purport, the truth of Bhagavad Gita. You are a real scholar of Bhagavad Gita. Let's see. So there is another way to understand Vedic literatures. It is not by scholarship. That's why Prabhupada has said, only one who has unflinching faith in the bona fide spiritual master as well as in the Lord. He is referring to which verse? Yasyadeva parabhaktir yatha deve tatha guru. So, these writings, these books of Srila Prabhupada are very valuable. That's why Prabhupada wanted us to read carefully, study those books carefully. Prabhupada said, a devotee should know his books like a lawyer knows the law books. We should absorb ourselves. We'll stop here. Any questions? Yes, brother.
Not celebrate the birthdays. In school at that time, our sisters, nuns, celebrate this feast day. They obviously join, I think, convent text that day. So, when Gurugram asked me, when is your birthday? And I said, we don't celebrate birthdays.
Who was some Gurugram assistant? Okay.
Every year he joins in Sunday and day.
And
that's the thing, how far it is okay or not.
It's okay. Better than birthday. But let's not make now one day. Today is Another Thomas joining day. Let's have a feast. Tomorrow another Murli is tomorrow Vishnu Bhaktas. Let's have a feast.
In the school is still like that.
The birthday.
Not birthday. The joining day, not the sisters.
Okay, for the sisters. For the sisters.
There used to be some party kind of thing for the
Okay. Anyway, Prabhupada did not ask us. So, yes, at least that's more meaningful that you came to spiritual life, you came to the monastery, you came to the temple. That's much more meaningful than celebrating when we came into the spiritual world.
We're discussing we don't have a taste but sound after the mouth. Just curiosity, spiritual world, like suppose I like gulab jamuns, I can eat unlimited gulab jamuns and the taste buds will be just down.
Whether there is taste bud or not, you will be able to relish it because you will have spiritual senses to relish Krishna Prasadam. So, beyond that, whether the Godhead has, I don't know, I am a citizen of this world, not of the spiritual world. When you go there, you will figure it out.
Because it's all spirituality, through that, and there is no end in sight. Like when Guru Maharaj, I remember that because almost like practicing for 2 decades now, maybe I realize even in 1 inch progress is almost at a decade. So that's kind of because we are rooted mentally. But at least a system is nothing wrong, I believe, because we want to have Sada, Sadhu Sangha, Vajan, Kriya, something path is there, 9 stage process is there. So when I just personally myself, something I would have done in material world. 2 decades of my effort I would have put. 3 months I used to put in, whatever 3 things, 4 things I thought I achieved in my life. Just 3-4 months of 16 hours. I did so many, there were like highlights of my career. And here, 20 years, I'm nothing but similar. Like, the thing is, like Guru Maharaj, when he goes for tapasya, Narada meets him on the way, and he says, "What boy, you are going, big family people have not come to the end of this." And he was trying to tell you, wanted to try something. I said, this is true. Guru Maharaj, somehow he got it in 6 months. Where? What do you think? Where do you think? Going?
So for us, but we should not become nirvina chetasaha. This is the word used in the Bhagavad Gita by Krishna. Nirvina chetasaha means to become disappointed. And in the context of that word, nirvina chetasaha, disappointed, disillusioned. That's the meaning of the word nirvina chetasaha. It is in this context Baladev Vidyakrishna writes the story from the Puranas of the sparrow and the Gurudana. Sparrow could have become nirvina chetasaha. How can I go empty the ocean? My beaks are so small. But don't become nirvina chetasaha. It's a Purana system. Garuda will come. In other words, higher dimension. Prabhupada also said, yes, we may be struggling. Krishna can suddenly give all spiritual perfection. Krishna can do. So we should keep on endeavoring. Enthusiasm, patience, and determination.
You see some designer, like it's beautiful concept of painting. And if somebody comes to nobody designing, because I can see it. So it happened to Purport time, where you are not involved. Most likely person is not involved. We can tell this devotee and Purport guided, this devotee designed painting. So he finished right and he found out who is the designer. In case of our material world, like this flower, for example, or lotus design, great petals, it's always any petals, so nice design, color also, contrast, everything. Even if you do research for genius of here, you don't know, you will find out designer, and how long will they like, that's what people say, like, if you can't find out designer, the justice is not it. Common sense, of course, is that there is design. But if you put little effort in the material, few days of research, find out in a very few years, the decades of research also. I mean, you can just guess, of course, common sense says that there should be design. Who is that God?
Yeah. So that is why in our lives we should see how Krishna and Prabhupada has blessed us. So many activities we do. It is a fact. Some services we have done and some success has come. Did we really put all the right efforts? Somehow Krishna has given. So we should recognize Krishna's hand in so many of our lives and be grateful to the Lord and become more and more sensitive to see the hand of Krishna. It is a matter of sensitivity.
Even literally when we are able to see success, right?
Yeah.
When we are able to go issues and we do some
Yeah.
and something success we see, but I mean, same effort we put in material also we have seen success.
Yeah.
God's hand
There it was just according to our karma we were getting. Some people putting effort, they are not getting. How many? 4 lakh people write IAS exam. Somewhere recently I was reading. 100 people succeed. So,
in our community also devotee talk about transcendental reciprocation. Devotee who puts more effort, does better sadhana, does reciprocation is proportionately. You get more collections, you get
it's left to the Lord finally. Our effort is important. That's what Prabhupada has started. Don't worry about
One
this.
thing we say, like even after going so many years, like after praying, even if not seeing the Lord, one thing, like personally, I judge myself. Every day enthusiasm is this. When you get into one, there is no material benefit because in corporate you should look at like salary and end of the month, promotion business. There is no material such things. But every day there is a spring in the leg. Oh, certain. They go, enthusiasm is there. Every time you plan and you actually something is there.
That is a blessing of Allah. That's a
Never get
reciprocation.
bored out of service. All new ideas, new that will do, this plant will do, that plant will do all.
Yeah. So that is also Lord's blessing.
Only one thing, the enthusiasm keeps going. That doesn't touch God.
In fact, Prabhupada says, increasing enthusiasm is an indication of spiritual progress. Prabhupada didn't say, oh, tears are not yet come, hairs are not, don't worry about it. You are feeling enthusiasm to serve Krishna and Guru more and more, that's an indication of spiritual progress. So we should feel
Effort
satisfied.
is the qualification. Whether the will become your devotee or the effort you are putting towards, that is the qualification.
That Guru, Prabhupada and Krishna will see. We'll stop here. Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srimad Prabhupada ki, Shri Nitya ki, Shri Radha ki, Shri Vrindavan ki, Shri Radha ki, Nitya